Hey guys, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and yes, I'm here with Sat Chat. Are you surprised? I know last week sounded a little, it probably seemed a little crazy or blah. I had a nice week. I took a lot of time off. Actually, I have been the last couple of weeks because I had a lot of stuff pre-recorded. So I only ended up working a few days this week. And it was good. It was good. I've got a lot of stuff done. I actually just finished up today filming my part of a collab with the parody songwriter Shirley, who did the Menopause Rhapsody that I told you guys about a couple weeks ago. She reached out to me and asked if I wanted to collab because she had an idea for a craft parody song. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm here for it. I have no rhythm. I'm not a musician. I'm not an actor, but sign me up. I am ready to do things I'm not qualified for. But so I get to edit all the little clips that I filmed, or just put them together in a logical way so she can deal with them when I send them to her. But that was fun, and I took a nice kayak trip with my friend Heather, and it was great. We saw all kinds of wildlife. We saw a huge heron fishing. We saw a deer. We heard loons. It was nice. It was such a beautiful day. Tons of monarch butterflies everywhere because the place we went kayaking was on a Audubon reserve. So it was just beautiful. It was nice. Very, very, one with nature type thing. So yeah, it's been really nice weather this week. Been able to be outside, work on the tan, just get the fresh air, be in nature, all that good stuff. And oh, I have a new project up in Critique Club right now. It is this one right here, this landscape. So I will have a time lapse for this for Sketchbook Sunday, and then if you want the anybody that's interested in the real-time version can find that in Critique Club, and I'll link that down below. If you don't know what Critique Club is, it's basically it's a place where you can upload your artwork for critique from me, but I also put 2 brand new long format tutorials in there a month that are more advanced and longer than what I can do on YouTube. Basically because you put a long tutorial on YouTube, a long, more advanced tutorial, and YouTube shuts it down. So even people that are interested in finding it probably won't because YouTube's not pushing it. I have over 50 up there for as long as you remember you can enjoy it. It's $5 a month, so if you want to check that out, you can. If not, the time lapse is up on Friday. I put different content in the time lapse. I time lapse it, but then I usually talk about other stuff just so if you want to watch. A lot of people watch both. If they're in the Critique Club, they'll watch the time lapse first so they kind of see how it goes down, and then when they watch to paint along, they've got a little bit of a good idea in their mind about what's coming next and all of that. But that was a gouache tutorial. Oh, my baby boy is graduating this weekend. I'm excited. It's crazy how fast the last 18 years have gone. It's like, what's the saying? The days are long, but the years are short. Holy moly, they are not kidding. That is exactly how it is. It's just some of those days when they were all babies, it was like, whoa, this, when's Jason getting home, And then they hit high school and it's like, everything's on fast forward, it's crazy. What else this week? I had a review. Oh my gosh, what's with all the hate on YouTube? Holy cow. So I was completely I've been a little disconnected because almost everything's been pre-recorded for this week's stuff. Because I think I even did the watercolor, which ended up being Watercolor Thursday. I posted that Thursday, but I recorded it the previous week. So I've kind of been a little bit detached, so I was very surprised to look at comments from Monday's review video and see all kinds of what do you call it? Saltiness, I guess is the only way I could put it. It was just it was crazy. I was reviewing a set of budget pencils, which I've been using for a couple of months because I don't just open up the box and give my opinion on something. I use it if I'm calling it a review. That means I've used it for a while, and I've tried it in different applications, and giving an educated opinion on this, given my preferences of softer pencils, and I state all of that stuff. And oh yeah, there were people like, why is everybody giving these budget supplies such high reviews, and just I don't know, just people being kind of nasty. And I've seen people being nasty on other people's reviews lately, and it's just why? If you're not interested, don't watch. And that was the thing. The person was clearly not having it for any budget supplies. And I was like, why are you watching a review for a product that you're not interested in, that you're disgusted about already? I don't get it. It's like some people want to be upset. I do not understand it. But, given my break and my nature and my seeing the whole world in the big picture, I was just kind of like, huh, look at that person. It didn't bother me, which was a good step. It did not bother me. Although, well, you know, I say it didn't bother me. I did get a little upset with the accusation that I was lying about my opinion on these pencils. It's like, oh no, no, I do not lie about things that I review. I don't. So that did tick me off. I did have to step in there, but anyways, yeah, that was weird. But I've been seeing that on other channels too, so I'm not terribly surprised. But I just don't. It's the weirdest. Like, why would you watch a video where you don't think you're gonna agree with the person just so that you can watch it and be outraged and argue? I don't get it. That's the thing with the summer. It's views overall drop if you have an adult audience, but because all the kids are home from school, you tend to get more trolling and more disgruntled comments in the summer because I guess, you know, angsty teenagers looking for a fight. I have no idea. I hope my teenagers don't leave comments that are just rude on people's YouTube channels. I don't think they do, but I'm like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. But I don't really have too much to chat about because I haven't, well, what have I done? I haven't really done that much, honestly, that much arty or crafty this week. I've just been kind of chilling out, doing prom stuff. I made corsages, actually. This was fun. I didn't know what was going on with the flower situation for prom, but Lila was going as a single, so I asked her if she wanted a corsage, and I've never made a corsage before, and I thought that might be kind of fun because I didn't know exactly where I'd go and buy one at such short notice because it kind of just occurred to me a couple days before prom, maybe like 2 days before prom, and it occurred to me, it's like, oh, Maisie, you got to get your date a boutonniere, and she said that his mom's handling all the flowers, and I'm like, I don't know, usually it's customary that the girl gives the boutonniere to the guy and the guy gives a corsage to the girl. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have something ready just in case. And I asked Lila if she wanted a corsage, and she hadn't really thought about it, but she said sure. And so when I went out shopping with my friend Kathy, and who we usually go to the stamp show together. We actually after I filmed Sat Chat last week, we did a crafty Zoom. Kathy set it up with my friends that were down at the stamp show, so I got to see their haul. I got to see what they got, which was kind of fun. It was fun because we all have such different tastes. But there was one stamp that, I think it was Lori that picked it up, and it was from Technique Junkies, and it's this picture of a cat, and the cat's holding up a mug shot, or what do you call it, the sign that prisoners will hold up, with, like, you know, the lines behind them, you know, tell us how tall they are. So this cat's holding up the thing, like they're getting their mug shot taken, and it had all these sayings, and one of the sayings said, 8 lives left, no regrets. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, I have got to order that stamp. That is so funny. I'll try to find it. If I can find it, I'll link it down below. But it was so funny, and I was like, yeah, I think I need to order that one. But it was neat to see what everyone got. I think there were like 14 vendors at the show, which is a lot less than what they usually have. But everyone seemed to have a really good time. And I haven't talked to because my friend Linda owns Lost Coast Stamps and Carmen's Veranda, and I know she was vending there, so I'll have to ask her how the show went, but it looked like it was pretty well attended, which is nice. But it was fun to just hang out and kind of get the hanging out after the stamp show experience with my friends. It was funny because I had gone up to sit out in the sun on the balcony, and the dog came out, and the dog she rarely ever comes upstairs, but she must have heard like the outside noises, so she came up, so I had to put a baby gate on the top of the balcony so she didn't make her run for it, because she is a runner. And so we were hanging out, and she didn't want to go in, so I grabbed my laptop and brought it out on the balcony, and I was zooming with them while I was outside, and Penny was so cute, because like moths and June bugs and stuff would come around, she'd be like jumping around for her, but she did not want to leave the balcony. It was so cute, and so she's been up there a few times. So I got to keep that baby gate handy, otherwise she would take off. She was you'd think she was a greyhound if you saw her run, because she's just built like a greyhound, but she's actually mostly collie, and then just like 4 other breeds. We did one of the DNA tests, because I thought for sure she was German Shepherd, because I knew the mom was a collie, but I'm like, she's gonna be half collie, half German Shepherd, because she's got that tawny kind of striated fur, dark ears, pointy up dark ears, just the markings on her face. She looks so much like our German Shepherd Chippy I had when I was a little girl. No, not a speck of German Shepherd in her, or Greyhound. It's like Pitbull and Akita and Chow Chow and what was the other one? Pitbull, Akita, Chow Chow, Husky, and Collie. Of course, Collie was 43%, and the other ones were other, obviously small percents, but yeah, so she's a runner, so I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful with that one. But what else? Gosh, not much, really. I've just been kind of puttering away. Oh, I did film another YouTube short because what was I do? Oh, I'd been doing a bunch of sewing. Oh, I totally lost my train of thought. So Kathy and I went shopping for fabrics. I was buying some stuff to make masks, and Lila wanted like silver, and so I was thinking I gotta get like a lame fabric because I guess I could have done satin, but lame would just be more sparkly and more like formal, I think. Just kind of flashy and formal looking. So so we went to Joann's, and I had some plain red fabric to do Maisie and Quinn's mask because they have they're doing black with red accents, and I had a shade of red here, and it was all right. But I'm like, oh, if I find something a little more crimson, I'll go with that. I bought fabric, and I swear it was like the same shade that I had, but I couldn't. I was like, oh, I don't know. You know, why didn't I bring it? I should have just cut off a little piece of the fabric and brought it with me to see. Yeah, hindsight, right? I feel like I'm hunched over because my camera is a little bit lower than usual, and I was kayaking, so my shoulders are really feeling it. Where was I? Oh, fabric. So yeah, I had to buy some elastics and some fabric, and find the lame fabric, and I get everything home, and like 8 o'clock Saturday night, we get a email from the school, a prom guide, and it says that masks are optional. It's like, oh, I'm making the masks. I bought the fabric, I'm making the masks. And I also bought like the floral tape and the stuff for the corsages, and I went to the grocery store and bought a couple bouquets of flowers so I'd have some variety to work with, and watched a few tutorials, which I actually ended up doing my own thing, and they came out really good. But I don't think I'm going to do a tutorial on it because I'm not a qualified floral arranger. But I think it would be really fun to do some sort of like, I don't know, maybe if you had like a tea party for kids or something, and then you could do like a corsage bar, and like everyone could pick their flowers and make a corsage or something. I think that'd be so cute. It'd be so fun. But yeah, that was something new. I like to learn. I think that's the thing. It's like, even though I was stressed out hemming the girls' prom dresses, it was learning something new that was kind of rejuvenating. And I think like doing corsages, it was just something rejuvenating about that. Oh, because the corsages were sold out everywhere, so it turns out that that Maisie's boyfriend, they couldn't get corsages either. So I'm like, hey, let's see what we can do here, you know? And they looked great. Hey, they look great for photos. I don't know how they lasted the evening. That's the other thing. That's another reason I'm not going to do a tutorial for them, because it's like, I don't know how they lasted, but they look great for the photos. Oh, guys, I don't know what you do in the last minute, right? But sometimes that's how, you know, that's how you learn things. That's how you get inspired. And I think that's what I think I was just doing the same things over and over. The definition of insanity, like I said last week, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I am someone that constantly needs that stimulation, I think, of learning something new. And I think that's why a lot of people just get, and why I was getting burned out. It's like doing the same things over and over and over again. So like when Shirley said, hey, do you wanna collab on this? I'm like, I've never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing, but heck yeah, let's give it a shot. Why not? You know, I'm gonna try it because that's how you learn. You either succeed or you learn, right? And hopefully you do both. We'll see. I'll probably totally cringe looking back at the footage, but at least I'm not singing. You're welcome. There's a professional singing. I'll just be lip syncing and probably not all that great, but I'm doing my best. That's all I can say. I'm trying to think, anything else new? Oh, so we're talking about the budget pencils, right? So I like those square brute Funer pencils. That's what I reviewed this week. They are really a good bang for the buck. And I'd had them for a couple months, and I'd used them a bit off and on. I just didn't feel like color pencil reviews take me a long time because I like to use them a few times to make sure I'm not just getting a false impression, because sometimes you use something and it's like, wow, this is great, but then you use it a little bit more, you try a few more techniques, and you find the shortcomings. You don't always see the shortcomings right off the bat. And I think what this person that was complaining was getting at was that there's been a lot of reviews of this product, but not necessarily reviews, but more like unboxings and first impressions. There's a lot more of those out there than reviews, and those are easier to do. Those don't take as much time. You can do it as soon as they come in the mail. You can open up, unbox it, show them off. color a few swatches, and then and that's an unboxing. So I think that people need to go into videos with the expectations of what they're watching. If something says unboxing, then unless it's unboxing and review, like sometimes I'll do an unboxing and then I'll film the unboxing, then I'll be like, okay, I'll see you in a couple weeks, which will actually be a couple minutes your time after I've played with these for a while, and then I'll give you my review. So that's what I do if I'm doing an unboxing, but a lot of unboxings are just opening up the product and swatching it out, and that's all it is, and then they usually will follow up with a review a while later. I don't want to do that because I don't want to turn my channel into like a haul channel or an unboxing channel. I really enjoy reviewing stuff, and trying stuff out. I'm very curious about different things that are coming out. I'm always looking for that diamond in the rough, and also if I can get something early and try it out and either and educate people whether it is worth their money or isn't worth their money or is the same as 5 other things you already have, I'm happy to do that. I think that's a valuable service, because there's so many things that come out and so many things that are duplications of either cheaper products or they're just the same product that's being relabeled by different companies because they come from one factory that does the private labeling. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing illegal about that. That's just how it is. And like, for instance, the blending brushes, which I haven't reviewed yet, but the blending brushes that I showed you, they were, remember when I said like these very similar set was on sale for $40 at one of the big stamp stores. This is a set of 8, that was a set of 10 with excess packaging. And I found these because a lot of times things are just repackaged from other industries, usually the makeup industry. And then when I was looking at my my Amazon affiliate dashboard, I was seeing this other product that kept getting purchased by you guys, and it was this. It was it was like kind of the muted tones. So I'm like, well, that's neat that they offer both of those. Now they have a set of 2 like this, so it would be $16 for I think it's like $19 or something. But anyway, I saw this set of 8 at the big stamping store for $25. This sells for $9.99 on Amazon. So, you know, it just really irritates me when I see people like taking advantage of crafters, and it irritates me when I see people taking advantage of artists and beginners and things like that. So that's another reason I like to do the reviews and the comparisons, because for $20 you can get 16 of these blenders, so you can keep one for each color family, or you could spend $40 for 10. It just doesn't make sense, and then have all the extra packaging to deal with. This is very minimal packaging, and I love that, and it's cheaper. So anyway, that's my stance on reviews. I know not everybody agrees with it. Not everybody likes reviews. Reviews do get watched more than tutorials though. So so there's that. I mean, that's obviously what people want, or the majority of people want that, or maybe not. Maybe that's just what YouTube pushes. It's so hard to tell because it's not a pure it's not like the pure desire of the viewer that comes into play here. It's definitely what the algorithm wants to push. So I'm trying to like step away and not be so influenced by that, and I'm trying not to look at my my analytics. One viewer wrote me, and it was so great, and she says, "You need to KonMari your analytics." And I'm like, I sure do. I need to love to KonMari the analytics. I'd love to figure out a way that I could just jump to my comments like on my phone, because I prefer to check the comments on my phone. For whatever reason, it's faster. It like loads faster than my computer. I'm not sure why. Maybe because the app is just bare bones or something, but you can't get to the comments without seeing that snapshot of your analytics. And if I could just bypass that, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I think that's why I enjoy Instagram, because you don't see your analytics on Instagram unless you go looking for them, and I never look at them. I'm just like, I'm doing this for fun. I'm sharing stuff on Instagram for fun. I'm not worried about the numbers. But then again, I don't, earn any money from my Instagram account. So I have done some sponsored posts before, but that was quite a while ago. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just doing it for fun, and that's how I started out YouTube, for fun. I never visited YouTube. I just used it for a place to store videos and to get back to some of that kind of like more innocent fun. But anyway, so I was talking about doing a short. I wasn't intending to film a YouTube short, but see, you get inspired when you're not like putting yourself under a lot of pressure. So anyway, I was sewing masks for prom last weekend, and I was getting some red thread and some blue thread, and I was like, my thread was getting really dusty on the wall. I like having my colored thread in rainbow order on the wall. I could probably spin that around. I can show you here. I just don't want to blind you because I got a light like right behind the camera. But over there, I think, can you see that? I got my thread on the wall there. And I like that. I think it's pretty. I like seeing it, and I like having it stored like that. But it gets dusty, and it's not terribly dusty down here because I don't have windows, but it does get dusty. And I had the thread off. I'm like trying to brush the dust off. I'm like, that's not working. And I'm like, I need to drag the air compressor in here and spray some air on it. And I was telling that to Jason. He's like, why don't you just use the compressed air we have for the computer? And I'm like, well, I don't want to waste it. He's like, it won't take much. So I came down and it worked great. It was great for dusting off all that thread. So if you like to display your thread, but they're getting dusty, or if you wanted to display your thread but you haven't because you're worried about it getting dusty, give it a try. It's a, oh my gosh, when I was spinning that around, you probably saw my cheat sheet. Because I had to lip sync some stuff and I cannot read. I have like goldfish memory. I could not remember the lyrics. So I had to tape it onto my markers. For like at least one stay. I don't know how she's gonna edit it. I'm giving her some footage to work with, but I hope she adds a lot of herself into that. Because otherwise it needs help. Yep. Oh, so I don't really have anything to say this week. You know, I'm just I feel like I'm out of the loop. I'm feeling very relaxed, which is probably a good thing. I did this painting. This is for a critique club, right? And I didn't want to have anything with any pressure. I wanted to actually work my sketchbook, but I wanted to go a little bit bigger. And this was 11 by 15. And I was thinking, oh, when I was recently, remember when we did the reorganization, labeling, clear out over there? Not really even a clear out, just kind of going through. Well, I found this painting board, and I remember this was sent to me a couple years ago to review. I never got around to reviewing it, and the company has since gone out of business, so I'm not going to say the name of the company. But anyway, it was a watercolor board, and you're supposed to be able to paint watercolor on it and not have to frame it and, you know, be able to lift up any mistakes. And I tried using watercolor on it, and the watercolor just beat it up. It was like, it was just not happening. It was not adhering at all. And so I was looking at the papers that came with it and said, okay, wipe it down, wet it, wipe it down, make sure there's no fingerprints, and dry it off and paint. Tried it again, still beating up. So I'm like, well, I'll use gouache on it. And that's what I did here, because I'm like, well, I'm not going to worry about it. I've had this for a while. If it doesn't come out good, it doesn't come out good. And I actually like the way it came out, but the gouache won't even bond to it, and the paint is flaking off. So that is such a bummer. But I do go in and talk about like supports and best practices for gouache in both the Sketchbook Sunday time lapse and also in the critique club, because it was flaking off on me as I was doing it. So this is probably going to end up in the old fire pit, sadly, because I actually think it's kind of cute. Maybe I'll hang it up until it falls apart, until like all the paint just chips off of it. But yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know if I got a bad one or what happened. It was just one of those things where I think it was sent to me like, I don't think there's something in it that could have happened to make it act like that, but like I think this is just the way it came. It seems to be like it's got a clear gesso. It's like watercolor paper glued to a board with clear gesso over it or something, because it's definitely not a watercolor ground, because it's not accepting the gouache, and it wasn't accepting the watercolor. So I don't know what the deal with that is, but I can't imagine if they were selling that product that they wouldn't have figured out the problem and fixed it, because that you couldn't stick the watercolor to it. I don't know, maybe they tried a different material or something, I don't know. But they don't appear to be in business anymore, so I'm not gonna mention the name or anything like that. But it was kind of a bummer, but I'm not that upset, because I enjoyed the process. I got my result. The thing that I wanted to get from that was a tutorial, and I was able to do that. I was also able to just play and paint, and that was the goal, and that goal was achieved, and so the final product doesn't really matter. And I think that's something that we need to, I don't know why I'm slapping myself on the leg, and I got sunburnt knees, and I'm just like, man, yeah, I think that's something we should remember, is that we don't have to have a product. The process can be enough, you know, just like you go for a walk, you know, you're not expecting a product. Well, maybe you're expecting health and fitness out of it. That could be a product, but you know, you're doing it because you enjoy doing it. And art should be like that too. That's why I like working in a sketchbook. You don't have to really worry about storing the art afterwards. You don't have to worry about selling the art or anything. And somebody left a really interesting comment, and she actually leaves lots of, well, I say she, I'm not even sure if it's she, because it's a weird, it's like they use a painting as their avatar. And she was saying how she didn't see the point of doing finished art in a sketchbook because then it can't be hung up and appreciated. And I think that was a really good point. My point is, my work gets shared on Instagram and on YouTube, so it's getting seen by more people than it would get seen by in a gallery. So I think that that both points are valid, and I thought it was just kind of an interesting way to look at it. Yeah. So, yep. I don't really have anything to talk about this week, and yet we're 25 minutes in. I showed you the flowers that I picked that I got for the corsages. I got a couple bouquets. I think these are like mini carnations. They're awfully pretty. These little pale pink mini carnations, and then these pale white ones. These big, I think these are chrysanthemums. Those worked the best. The roses were a little too heavy. I had to pull a bunch of the flowers off the outsides to do the boutonniere, and I think they're a little too big, or you might have to really pull back the petals to get them to go in there. You probably would buy smaller roses. I imagine people that are professional corsage makers would just use, would have like a specific, maybe more buds that they would use. I don't know. I'm not a florist. I was just, I was just playing. And then these little carnations, aren't they pretty? They have like tiny leaves. So I pulled like one of each from the bouquet, and I thought I would maybe do some little drawings or something of that. And now I've got to edit or not even edit, I just want to kind of chop out the goods, just kind of get the good stuff together in a file to send over to Shirley for her to edit. And and maybe by next week that'll be up. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm a little excited and nervous because, anytime you're doing something that's kind of like a parody, it might not be funny. It might it might not hit the mark. But, what the heck, what the heck, try new things, have fun, enjoy your life, you only live once, YOLO. What else, anything? Not really. Well, I hope you guys have a good weekend. If you're going to graduations, wish that congrats for me, and I am excited to see my son walk across the stage and get his diploma. It's crazy, man, it's crazy. Where'd the time go? Life's crazy. That's the ending thoughts I want to leave you with is life's crazy, man. YOLO. We'll see you next time. Happy crafting.